Yeah. Okay, our class is now recording. So tonight we are going to discuss about stakeholder identification, classification, and analysis of stakeholders is very important in project management. You can't even miss this aspect of project management. Whether you are a business analyst, whether you are a project manager, you must understand whom your stakeholders are. It's extremely important. So once you miss this, you identify wrong stakeholders. That is how your struggle will start. So who are the stakeholders in a project? Stakeholders. Can anyone try? Anyone? Angela? Stakeholders?
They're the people who have a vested interest in the outcome of the project.
Yes. Yeah, people that have got vested interest. It's not only because in so many cases, when we talk about stakeholders, some people start thinking of project sponsor. People start thinking about CEO, senior managers. They are the stakeholders. Yes, they are part of the stakeholders, but you might find out that a CEO is not a stakeholder in a project. Yes, he's the CEO of the company, the organization, but he might not be the stakeholder in a project you are running. And I've seen so many cases, some of my students, they will want to start asking who is the CEO, or want to interview the CEO. Why are you interviewing the CEO? You are just implementing a CRM system. How? Why interviewing the CEO? Is the CEO head of sales unit? Is the CEO head of finance? So that is why it's important. We must know whom to talk to. Well, me too, I made such mistakes when I was starting. I send emails to everybody. Or just a project, a unit project I was working on. I wanted to gather requirements as a BA, and I send email to all the employees of everybody in the organization is a stakeholder, and it was like, wow, who is this Chas? So try to understand their stakeholders. They are not only the top management personnel or say directors or business leaders. Even a wife of a project manager can be considered as a stakeholder. That is, family of a stakeholder can be considered a stakeholder, because if I'm a project manager now, and my wife puts to bed, I might take a leave, paternity leave, because of my, baby. And that is it. You see, they are affected. You see how they are affected in this scenario? Customers are equally stakeholders. Customers who are buying the product or services, they are stakeholders. So if you go to agile methodology, they tell you that they are the king. So if they are not happy, you see our company will start shaking. The organization will start shaking. I will use a church as an example, as an organization, a church. When the church goers or the parishioners or congregation, they stop going to church, the church will close. So there are big stakeholders there. All of us using Facebook, we are users, customers. When 1 million people drop from Facebook, you see it's going to shake Facebook because they don't know why people are leaving Facebook in millions. They start running up and down because we are stakeholders. It's not only Mark, the owner is the stakeholder. No, that's it. So stakeholder is, they are key people. They determine a lot in a project. You must have to identify who are the stakeholders, then you classify them. Try to classify stakeholders. We have so many ways we want to classify stakeholders. We can start from trying to identify who are the organizational stakeholders and who are the project stakeholders. So we'll make sure that not everybody in the organization we are bringing into the project. And some of the people from the organization that are part of the project, we call them internal stakeholders. We have some people that are not part of the organization, but they have vested interest in one way or the other. They can be suppliers, supplying materials to the organization. They are stakeholders as well. We consider them as but these type of stakeholders, they can be considered as external stakeholders. We have regulators. Every industry have a regulatory body. For instance, CBN is a stakeholder. If you are working on banking related projects, you might want to understand what the CBN is saying about the kind of product you are trying to roll out. If you are building an application that are going to use customer data biometrics, you might want to understand the data regulation of that particular country. How do the country regulate the data usage? So in that case, data regulatory bodies like ICOs, they are stakeholders. If you are working in a construction site, you might understand what the health and safety officers are saying because they are stakeholders. If you are working, trying to build a structure in any local government, whether here in UK or in Nigeria, you must understand what the local council is saying about putting on a structure. You need to get a permit to do some certain things. So these people, they are all stakeholders, and all these people that we call them external stakeholders. Outside that, we have some another way we classify stakeholders. We have stakeholders we classify as high influence stakeholders. And then we'll have some stakeholders we classify as low influence stakeholders. So high influence, low influence. We can equally call them high powered stakeholders and low power stakeholders. We can equally classify stakeholders in terms of their interests. Some stakeholders in a project has high interest. Some have got low interest. So this is a way you classify stakeholders before you start anything to do with the stakeholders. Even before you start requirement gathering, to understand their expectation, you need to classify them this way so that you won't be putting the round peg in a square hole. Sorry, every stakeholder have what they need in a project. Understand each stakeholder and give them what they need, and you will have peace of mind in your project. But when you are giving a stakeholder the wrong information, the wrong value, they expected a value. When you give them wrong value, you are not going to have a peace in that project, because that's not what you are supposed to give to them. So, yeah, so it's very simple. The only thing we need to do is to understand how to do it as professionals. Yeah, how to document all this, how to use tools to do the stakeholder, we call it generally stakeholder analysis. So when you see stakeholder analysis comprises the identification, the classification, and then the analysis of all the stakeholders involved in a project. I think this is enough. So let's go to our notes so we understand how to perform stakeholder analysis. Okay. According to my notes, stakeholder analysis is a crucial step in the project management that involves identifying individuals, groups, or organizations affected by the project and assessing their need, interest, and influence. This analysis enables project manager and team to better understand the expectation of each. This each is very important. Each, not just stakeholders. Each means that you need to personalize their need. Every stakeholder have their own specific need. So you need to understand the expectation of each stakeholder and plan for an effective engagement of each of them. The way you engage stakeholders depend on their need, and communication and conflict resolution throughout the project's life cycle. You must have a stakeholder management plan. That stakeholder management plan is what we call the stakeholder analysis document we need to start creating. And once you create it, it will help you to reduce the rancor, conflict, issues you are going to be having with the stakeholders. They are not easy people to manage. They are extremely difficult. Because, you know, they believe they are paying you a lot of money and they believe you need to deliver. So examples of stakeholders, like here, you see this diagram here is an example of stakeholders, but example of stakeholder in an organization. You see it here, example of stakeholders for an organization. This is not stakeholders in a project. So I want to clarify so that you understand, you don't mix it up. Organizational stakeholders, this is where so many of us start making mistakes. You become a project manager, you go and start looking for organizational stakeholders. You don't need this organization. You are just wasting time, the time you don't have and resources. Yes, but although some stakeholders need to come from this organization, but don't waste time and try to go and interview all the organizational stakeholders. You don't have that kind of time. But organizational stakeholders, you can see, can be employees, senior executive, shareholders, customers, suppliers, and contractors, end users, families of employees, investors, lenders, partners, unions and regulators, community group, the media, and the government. These are all the people that are stakeholder for an organization. And if you are a company or an organization, a registered company or an organization operating in any country, you might find yourself navigating from these people. You have your employees, you need to make them happy, you need to satisfy them, their morale needs to be high. If they don't have high morale, if you don't pay them well, or you don't pay them when their salary is due, you can never be their friend, because this is the way they feed their families. We have senior executives, shareholders, they always want to know, is our share increasing? Are we making profit? Customers, their taste is always changing. You must, work hard to contain their appetite. They have high taste, so you need to always walk around. So if everybody here, you see them, they are stakeholder, but not for your project, for the organization. Don't mix them up. But when you're trying to start a project, some of these people might appear in your project. And let's look at project stakeholders and see how some organizational stakeholders are appearing here. But you find out that not all of them are going to appear in your project list of stakeholders. These are list of stakeholders for a project. No matter the kind of projects you are working on, you might find this kind of people in your project. Whether construction, whether IT, whether finance, whether healthcare, you might find this. This is a generic stakeholder. So all these people, you might find them in your project, but it may be the name might change one way or the other. Like, no matter the kind of project you must see a project lead, which is the project manager. You must see the project leader there. You must see project team members, whether no matter the project, you must have team members. You see process owners. Every process in an organization has an owner. For instance, if we're talking about lead management, the lead management must have an owner. So who is in charge of lead management? Yeah, can be a lead manager or sales manager, or people who work on the process. There's people who work on a particular process. Let me use lead management again. When it comes about lead management is a process of, getting user acquisition or customer acquisition, trying to acquire customers. So all these potential customers, we call them lead. When you see them, you try to manage them to convert them. You see salespeople, sales representatives, they're always working on lead. There are people working on the process, something like that. We have customers of the process. Every process or product will have customers who are targeting. We have suppliers. All of us know what suppliers. Those who are supplying goods or materials company uses. So they are suppliers. For instance, in Dynamics 365 or enterprise application we're trying to implement, who are the suppliers there? We can say suppliers there are the vendors that sells this, like Microsoft, Oracle, SAP, Google. All these people, they are suppliers, they are vendor, they sell applications. We call them. But if you go to construction, you see some people selling cement, like Dangote is a supplier. These are different suppliers. They are stakeholders as well. So we have operations manager. Any projects you are implementing it for a group of people in the organization. Like, for instance, if we are trying to implement CRM or ERP, we are implementing it for a particular unit or department. Within that department, we have operations managers. They are stakeholders. You can call them HODs. At times, like I said, name changes. You know, in so many cases, they are the HODs of that particular department or unit head or whichever name, but generic name here is operations manager. We have finance managers because these people need to release fund. They are the people that need to make sure that there is, some of them are going to be regulating the money they deploy for the project. They need to see some documentation before they can release some money for a project. So you need to understand them. In some companies, if you see procurement manager, you cannot go on your own, no matter your project, you can't go on your own as the project manager to procure anything. For instance, if you want to procure license for Dynamics 365, ERP or CRM, you go through procurement manager. Then you have HR and training manager. In so many companies, if you are a project manager and you need extra resources, like extra human resources, you don't just jump into the market and start hiring. All you need to do is you contact HR. Contact HR and they make arrangements, put advertisements, recruit people. During the interview, you are the project manager. You are going to be there to make sure that you help in selecting the right people. But it's not your duty to go to the market. So you see all these people, you need to work with all these people. Performance managers will have auditors that audit what you do. In some cases, you can call them PMOs. They monitor the performance of the project. Have other senior executives in one way or the other that are being affected, maybe the head of unit or senior managers. So you see, all these people are stakeholders. You see, I've not tailored this stakeholder to any particular project. It's a generic stakeholder, but you can see you can apply these stakeholders in different sectors. Like someone will say, I don't have experience in construction, or I've never managed events before. I've never handled a birthday or wedding project before. You don't need to have managed any project in any industry before you, because everything you see here, all you need to do is whichever industry you are, use this template and go there and understand who are the stakeholders. If it's in oil and gas, you go to oil and gas, mirror this stakeholder there. If it's in a banking, you go to banking, telecom, and the rest of them. So all you need to do is mirror it and you get your stakeholders. Okay, purpose of stakeholder analysis: understanding expectation. That is one purpose. You need to understand expectations, identify and understand the need, expectations, and concern of each stakeholders. That's why you need to analyze to make sure that you personalize stakeholders' need. Don't go and start implementing what he wants. Try to understand what everybody and try to see how you capture everything. These are the requirements. What everybody that is a stakeholder in that, you must make sure you capture all their interests. Then you prioritize it. So another purpose of a stakeholder is to manage influence. People differs. The way you are going to treat an operative. Operative is somebody like, let's say, a laborer. It's not the way you are going. It's not that you are going to be looking down on anybody, but it's not. You are not going to be sending reports to a laborer. So the kind of reports you send to project sponsor is going to be different with the kind of report you share with your team members. So influence is very determine which stakeholder has the most influence on the project and plan to manage their expectation accordingly. Stakeholder analysis enhance communication. Develop a clear communication plan. You must have a plan. Don't just start a project and be talking to people anyhow, using any kind of paper to send a report, or you must understand communication pattern. If the organization have a specific way of carrying out their communication, align with the organization's specific, like you need to understand from the PMO office, that's project management office, how do we manage our communication? Is there any specific template we use in writing report? Is there any format we use in writing report? During communication, is it via email? Is it via telephone? Do we do it through WhatsApp? So don't go and start setting WhatsApp for stakeholders or for your team if WhatsApp is not adapted as the means of communication. Yes, all of us know that using WhatsApp is very super, fast communication, and all of you know that. I love, once you chat me up on WhatsApp, bam, you are getting response. But if you are trying to send me email, well, I'm not trying to say that I'm not going to respond to you, but you might get to wait a little bit. But once you are sending me a WhatsApp chat, you are getting it immediately. If you are calling me on phone or WhatsApp, I might not answer you because I might be in a meeting, and I will not want to take your call while I'm in a meeting. But even if I'm in a meeting and you send me a chat and I look at your chat and it's urgent, I'll just tell you, I'll get back to you. I've communicated already. So you must understand the communication pattern, communication method. How do you communicate? How often do you communicate? Some stakeholders, stop bombarding them with emails. You might, because they say that you need to carry our stakeholders along, they must know everything you do. It does not mean that you have to be saying you come in the morning, you send them an email, in the afternoon, you send the email, in the night, in the evening, before you go, you send email. They'll say, fuck, what is that? You might be doing the right thing in a very wrong way. Then it's no longer communication, it becomes spamming. So you start sending them. So they will want, in most cases, weekly reports, clean weekly reports, make it official, use a template to write reports. Just like what I'm doing in so many of my projects, we have what we call weekly status update, where you give reports on what you do, depending on the methodology you use. There's so many ways. If you are using Agile, there is a method of communication in Agile. In Waterfall, there's a method of communication in Waterfall. We are going to understand this when we start dealing with project methodology. We have different types of project methodology. But let us understand the key basics. That's what we're doing before we start trying to personalize. This is the way Agile methodology works. This is the way Waterfall works. This is the way Prince2 works. And another important purpose of stakeholder analysis is goal alignment. Ensure the project objective aligns with stakeholders' interests, which help in securing their support. If it's not within their interest, you find it difficult to secure their support. Support is important. They must be supporting you at all times. if they do not support you, a key stakeholder do not support you, they are stakeholders because most of them you need to have a meeting with them. That's why they call them stakeholders. But if they don't have their support, they are not happy with you. If you schedule a meeting with them, they will ignore you, and time will be ticking. You cannot go and tell your program manager, I'm running late because most of my stakeholders, when I want to have a meeting with them, they don't attend my meeting or they ignore my meeting. You're already telling their program manager that you are not good at stakeholder management. And that is a red signal that you are not competent, and you are telling them to fire you. You know? So you have to secure your job. You don't need to be going around telling everybody, like parrots, this person, I don't know what. You are telling them you are not competent. So you have to find a way to play a project politics. And when I say politics, I didn't mean love. You find a way to be transparent, understand everybody, be nice guy, even if it's a quoted nice guy, you need to get something out of them. And when you need to get something out of someone, you need to be nice. You know, you need to be nice. Like in this project we're having, this boot camp, if you come to me, Mr. Charles, why have I not the lesson note? I have not seen the lesson note. Please send the lesson note. You know, I paid for this boot camp. Biko, you're on your own. But if you come now with a very nice voice and ask me, hi, Mr. Charles, welcome. Please send us this, you know, I will send you even the one that you didn't. I will go and find the best template and send it to you. But tell me, I paid for this course. I said, okay, now, I know you paid, sir. So, I'll just tell you, when it's ready, I will say, it's not ready yet. You know? So all these are politics. You need to be nice. You need to know how to mingle. You know, project as a leader, you need to be political. Every aspect of our life, we play the politics. Politics is buying people. Politics, when you say politics, some people might start seeing it as rigging an election. Carrying, that is not politics. Politics is all about winning people to your side. That is politics. When you win people to your side, politics is not violent, because the way some African politicians play, no, it's all about always laughing, always cheerful, always oratory. Like you see Barack Obama, you see the way he talks. Everybody will like you. Come and talk, and the sweet tongue, everybody will like him. But inside him, he might not be a good guy, but you see he's buying his way, so mingling, and as a politician, that's the way. So as a project manager, which is a leader, you need to know how to get support. Yeah. Okay. Steps for conducting stakeholder analysis. Number one, identify stakeholders. List all the people, group, or organization that will be affected by the project. Typical stakeholders include customers, vendors, sponsors, regulatory bodies, project team, and team members and end users. We've already seen it in the diagram. Classify stakeholders. That's categorize stakeholders based on their level of influence and interest in the project. A common classification uses what we call power interest grid or power interest matrix. Is a tool we use. It's very, very important to you cram it. Power interest matrix, which divide stakeholders into categories. With this power interest, we have what we call high power, high interest stakeholders. These are the stakeholders that have power, they have interest. Actively engage this kind of people and manage them closely. Then we'll have high power, low interest. These people, they are the spoilers. Keep them satisfied, but don't over communicate. They don't want church or chop from you. Just do what they want to see. And because they are not interested in that project and they have power. For instance, if you go to local government, you want to build a house, pay whatever you need to pay. That's what they want to see. Is there any levy? You need to pay because they are building. That is what the local government, they want money. Just pay. Don't go and start trying to make friends. They are not interested in you trying to be there. They're interested in you making the payment. If you have, for instance, health and safety officers, make sure that their site is highly on point in terms of health and safety compliance. Make sure that all the have method statement, you have fire extinguishers, they are not expired, good access and egress in the site. That is what they want to see. They don't want you to go and take them out for a drink. They don't want that. They don't want your friendship. You know, they don't even want to, they are not interested in that project. They are just doing their job. That's what they call it. They are doing their job. Unlike the first person, high power, you see, he's high power, but he's very, very interested. So his interest is because he's the person that secured the funding. So he's the project sponsor. Well, this person has a lot of power. If you like local council, any param, they don't close their site. They can close their site, come and seal their site for 1 month. And you know what 1 month is? Health and safety, no good access and egress, the site is closed. They come to you, this no hand washing machine, basin, no washing this thing, no good toilets, facilities outside, their site is closed. Simple. We have another group, when you are trying to classify, we have people that they have no power. They don't have power, but they have high interest. Keep them informed and consult them regularly. These might be the people that are going to be using the outcome of the project. For instance, let's say in a CRM system, the sales rep. You know, sales rep uses CRM system almost every day. So if you're implementing a system, some people are the end users. So now their interest is that now we are going to have a new way of working. How is it going to look like? They are very curious. You know, so you have to carry them along. They don't have power to change anything in this project. Then you have another people called, they have low power. They don't have much power and they don't even have interest. Monitor and communicate minimally. What are those people? I'll give you a clear example. In a construction site, we have this kind of people, low power, low interest. You can see them as laborers, electricians, bricklayers. They don't have power. They cannot change much in this, but they don't even have interest. All they want is they have a place to go to work, and that's it. If you don't monitor them because they don't have interest, they don't care whether the project is delivered on time or not. As a matter of fact, in the project, there's a way they can prolong a project that is supposed to end in 6 months. But that project to end in 1 year, they are going to do it because they make sure they are busy and they are getting paid. The same thing applies to all these developers. We are hearing developers. You see them, they are low powered people and low interest. When you hire a freelancer to do a work for you, a freelancer developer for you, after having a meeting with that freelancer developer, as the meeting is closing, he's joining another client. You know, is whenever you call, hey, I come to check, okay, he just come back to your work and start typing and coding. So they are not interested. They are just there looking for money. So you have to monitor them. For instance, if you give them a job, a developer, you need to follow the developer every day, afternoon, any update. Let me see the update and screenshots. Once you put this kind of pressure on them, then that's what we call monitor them. Make sure that they are doing the work. If you leave them, they're not going to do the work. And if they don't do the work, their project is going to be delayed. And their project delayed, you get a bad name and you get sacked. So that is it. So these are all stakeholders. First, try to group them in this manner. You see, we have 4 groups of people called stakeholders here, based on their power, based on their interest. Analyze expectation and influence. For each stakeholder, assess their expectation, potential concern, and the influence they weigh over the project. This will help in prioritizing stakeholders and identifying strategies for engagement. Once that is done, develop engagement plan. How do you plan to engage them? Develop a tailored engagement plan to manage each stakeholder or group of stakeholders effectively. Define the frequency and the content of communication based on their need and influence, which I've already said. So you don't communicate with them the same way. And that's it. Once you have this in place, you have your stakeholders on check. Okay, like I said, number 1, brainstorm individuals that are stakeholders. 2, sort them by their power and interest. 3, plot them on power and interest metrics. 4, identify the gaps between their current need and their desired involvement level. 5, create a plan, communication plan for ongoing management, because you need to be communicating with them from the inception to the closure of the project. Some people will say, I've done my stakeholder analysis. No, yes, you've done the analysis, but management is continuous. You continue to reanalyze as things are evolving, because in a project, you see some stakeholders, they might be stakeholders today, they will leave the organization, they will leave the company, new stakeholders will join. So it's a continuous engagement we are going to be doing. So if you want to start identifying them, use what we call, this is what we call affinity diagram. You see the way you said this, sort these stakeholders. This is the project here. Inside the project, you have project team members and the project leader, which is the project manager. Then these are people who are stakeholders in the organization. This is organization. You can see organization here. And this project belongs to this organization. And these are the project manager and the project team member. They are stakeholders. Then we have senior managers. Senior managers. They are stakeholders of this project. Then we have other internal stakeholders. We have finance manager. Then we have process owner and people working in the process. This can be the department that this project belongs to. And then you see this organization. Outside this organization, you see customers. You can see they are external stakeholders to this project, but they are still stakeholders. Everybody captured here, both the external, they are all stakeholders. So, and Once that's done, you can use something like this, a table like this, capture the stakeholders by their name, their positions in the organization, their project, their role in the project, the power, are they high powered, their level of awareness, their level of interest, their level of support. You capture them this way. With this, you see that your project will start taking shape because you are now having a good picture of the people you are working with. And this is how a power and interest matrix looks like. Is a grid, you know, a grid. In this grid, we'll have some people that you need to understand. Understand these people ruthlessly. Engage these people ruthlessly. Monitor these people intensively, and then you must equally consider these people. You must satisfy this group of people for you to have peace. They are high power, but they are low interest. They don't have interest, which I've already stated. These people here, engage them and manage them actively. They have high power. You can see them. All the people on the upper of this grid, they are high powered. So these people that you need to, there are people in the green t-shirt, you need to engage them actively. They have high power and they have high interest. You see these people at the bottom of this grid, these people, we call them crowd. You must monitor them. Monitor them, because once you don't monitor them, they might become a threat to your project. Some of them might even abandon their tasks. Once they see you coming, they start pretending like they are doing something. And time is going. They will cause you to have a delay in your project if you don't monitor them. These people, defenders, they are the people you are building this for in most cases. So they don't have power and they don't, they have high interest. So you consider keeping them engaged. So you see, we're going to use a table like this to capture our stakeholder analysis. Here, I captured it in an Excel, which we can use after this. So on this, we'll have what we call involvement planning sheet. This is where you capture stakeholders in your Excel sheet, make a list of all the stakeholders, and you come here. This is the current, every stakeholder, as the project progresses, you must have a relationship with them. This is where you capture your current relationship with them. So now every stakeholder, capture the current relationship. First, like here, every stakeholder, they should be aware of everything you are doing. So if they are not unaware of what you are doing, maybe the project is not transparent, you have to be honest when you are analyzing your project. You tick here. If, for instance, if they are aware of everything you are doing, means you are carrying them along and you are transparent, you tick here. If they are interested, you tick here. They are showing interest, they are not showing you attitude. It's up to you to tick here. If they are supportive, you tick here. This is the current. Then, after which, you come over here and then understand where you want to be. Where you want to be, for instance, if you are having problem here, like under the interest, they show nothing, they are not interested, then you need to, under the desired state, you must work hard to make sure that they are interested in everything. If they are not aware of what is going on in the project, under the desire, you must make sure that they are aware. If they are not being supportive currently, under the desire, you must make sure that you are getting their support. So this is where you identify the gap. Where are you having problem? Where you are not doing what you are supposed to do. And that is it. And under this sheet, we have communication, this communication action worksheet. Under communication action worksheet, this is a stakeholder. You have to decide method of communication. You state the method of communication. Who is the person communicating, and how often. That means here is within the project who supposed to communicate to this stakeholder. Because in a project, not everybody is supposed to communicate. So you must identify whose duty to communicate, how often, what is the method of communication, is it by phone? If it's by phone, you capture phone number. Is by email, you capture email. It's by phone and email, you capture both of them. And here is feedback log. Anytime you send a communication to stakeholder, the stakeholder must give you a feedback. Communication is two-way. You communicate by sending your report. They must say something about your report. They are not happy about your report. They tell you to improve a standard or this or that. You must come here to log whichever feedback. That's what we call it, feedback log. And you see, you can have up to 20 stakeholders, stakeholder 1, 2, 3, and continuously. This is the way you capture them and you have peace. So if you look at this particular document here, this is a template, stakeholder analysis template. This is a live template of the document I've just discussed. You see it here. Yeah. So you see here, you see this is where you capture stakeholder. For instance, now in this project, you can say Charles, Mr. Charles. Yeah. Don't say Chief Charles or Professor Charles, or don't say Mr. Charles. If you say Chief Charles, you enter my trouble. Yeah. So Charles, even if you like, just say Charles, remove the Mr. And then you come here, you see, that's why you need to understand stakeholders. The way some stakeholders, you go and call them sir. You know, we in Nigerians will like sir a lot. They don't want to hear that name, sir. It sounds so like here in UK. You hear sir, sir, sir. Oh, what is the meaning of all this sir, sir, sir? Just call me my name, John. I don't like it when you start all this so much attachment. Like Mark Zuckerberg, you just call him Mark. Simple. Elon Musk, they don't want a chief doctor, engineer, professor, CON Elon Musk. They don't want it. Just call me Elon Musk. Yeah? But if in our own case, there's a lady, I call this lady, it's an honorable member of, I call them Honorable Kechi, and this lady took it personal that I'm always looking down on her. Why didn't I put it Dame? I should have put, anytime I want to call, I must call her Dame Honorable Doctor. You see? So, yes. And I started losing her support. because I don't put them. The point I'm making all this, I'm not is for you to understand the way you get to your stakeholders. Know what stakeholders want. Like I say now, I'm Charles. Call me just Mr. Charles or Charles. And you see some of you want to capture or address me, or they will say they'll send me email. They want to have a meeting with me. They say Professor Dr. Charles will, just to honor me. Some people do not want that honor. Just try to understand every stakeholders. As you are working, you are going to see what I'm saying. But you both people, they don't like so much attached name. They don't even want to, even Mr. They don't want Mr. in their name. If their name is Mike John, just say Mike. That's the way they want it. They'll tell you that is not my name. Say sir, this, well, I'm not sir. Just my name is this. So understand every stakeholder very well. Position, you can say position in the organization. Like you can say that Mr. Charles is the CFO, like Chief Financial Officer. But that might not be the position in that project. That's position, if I'm the project sponsor in that project, just say project sponsor. Yeah. So you can see my position in the organization is not my position in the project. So you must have to understand the person's position in the project. You see power here, high. You capture mine as the high powers. You must know the power. And am I supposed to be aware of everything? Yes, I'm supposed to be aware of everything that is going on. In a situation you keep me on the dark, you say no, you must be like, this is where you're analyzing my position and what I'm supposed to enjoy in this project. You have captured that I'm supposed to be aware of everything that's happened. But you as a project manager, are you sure that you are carrying me along the way you are supposed to carry me along? If you are not carrying me along the way I'm supposed to be carried along, you know that I'm not going to be happy. This is the way you start triggering people. Like the ladies that say that I did not put them on her name. It means I'm not addressing her. Maybe she worked so hard to get that honor, them. And once we don't put it, like so many professors, you must put that prof for them. They labor, they want that name. Some people do not care. So, interested? Yes. And supportive? Yes. You must always enjoy my support. Any day you stop enjoying my support, wahala don't burst for you. So this is the way it's supposed to be. This is the standard. This here is the standard. Then you use the standard during your current. Now, what is the current state? Am I aware? If I'm unaware, you capture this. Am I aware? Unaware, you capture this. Aware, you capture yes, I'm aware. Then interested, yes, I'm showing interest. Supportive, yes, I'm being supportive. Then you see you are in a good position. You are enjoying my support. That is the way it's supposed to be. That is the way it's supposed to be. And if you come to the desired, yes, you continue the same way. The ultimate goal is to continue to enjoy my support. Then, if by anything here, the current is that I'm not aware of what is going on, you know, and here, that is the way. Interested, I'm not showing interest. Support. So, because you know that I'm not aware, because there I'm not even showing interest and I don't even support you, do you see that there is a gap in your stakeholder management? You already see this red signal that a gap. So you know, within yourself, you know that you have situation in your project because the stakeholders are not being carried along very well. You already indicated that there is lapses. They are not aware of everything you are doing. So it's up to you. If you want to retain your job, work hard to make sure that they are aware of everything. That is where you are supposed to be. They should be interested in every meeting, and you should ultimately enjoy their support. And if you come here, this is the communication action plan. You have to specify the way you communicate, method of communication. You have to state, is it email or phone? If it's email, you state it here. Whose responsibility? Who is it the responsibility to communicate to the CFO? Is it the business analyst or you the project manager? You specify. How frequently do you communicate with this person, the project sponsor, which is CFO? Once a week. Or you must agree the communication frequency. And then if his method of communication is by email, don't go, and even if you're capturing his phone number, maybe for emergency or whatever, but mind you that he don't like when you say call him by phone. Some people, I met a stakeholder. I call the person and say, no, you don't call me by my phone. You don't have my email? Don't. My phone is meant for my family, you know? So if you are not a member of his family, don't call him. So if you are calling him on phone, you must be close related person to him. Everything goes via the email. That is where the work is. So if he's working and his phone is ringing, he already know that it's either his wife or his son is calling. So don't go and be calling people because my workmate now. And why wouldn't I call her? I'll call you. Don't do that. Respect people's boundaries. That's what called boundaries. Understand their boundaries. Some people, so here, you see, I did not even capture the phone number, and here, email, just see@example.com, and then here, you'll be capturing logs of, all the communication, and that's it. So that's how you can use these documents, this template, stakeholder analysis template. So after this, I will share it so that everybody will have a copy of it as my souvenir to you as a good guy. So, and that's it. We have a template, a stakeholder management template attached here, and attached here as well on this note. If you come down under this note, you see another. You can use this sheet, this Excel sheet, or you can just prepare it in a Word document like this. This is the stakeholder analysis for Food Tracker expansion project. The project overview: the Food Tracker expansion aims to expand food multi-vendor and grocery delivery platform from rivers to other parts of the state in Nigeria. The project requires the involvement of various stakeholders, each with special expectation, influence, and communication. Yeah, I'm not going to go and start reading it. This is for you to digest. It's another souvenir for you to see how a live project stakeholder analysis looks like. So it's very simple. Go through it. For some of you who don't go through the notes, you are not going to learn this one. So, well, I don't give bulky notes to make sure that I try as much as I can to simplify learning for you. So if you are not catching up, you're on your own. So thank you everyone for joining. I will give 10 minutes for question. After 10 minutes, so it means 20 minutes past 8, I will be jabbering from here. Yep. I will do Shehu. Make it snappy.
Good evening, sir.
Yeah, how are you?
I'm fine, sir. Thank you very much for the very engaging class, sir.
Yeah.
I couldn't make it to class yesterday.
Yeah, the video will be uploaded. It's already uploaded, so it's just 1 hour class. So just give up your Netflix, watch, and we'll use it to watch the video.
Okay. All right, sir. Thank you very much. And then the verification. I've just done the sign up now. I've not gotten to that stage. I never knew about other stages. I just got to know today about it.
Okay.
I thought all I needed to do was to sign up.
Means sign up on what?
I mean the link sent. I mean where we're to sign up.
The course portal.
Yes, the first quarter. So I've just done the sign up. I just got to know that there are other processes that I have to also undergo to get verified. I've not gotten to those stages.
Okay. All those things, wherever you're having challenges in any of them, you drop a chat on our platform and somebody will address, or you can equally chat me directly.
All right, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
All right. Enobon King, you missed the class here as well.
I actually did. I did miss a class yesterday. Hi, good evening, Mr. Charles. Good evening, everyone. Actually,
Yeah, you having network issue. Okay, you guys can see the network is not being fair to Enobong. So Enobong, you can chat me, or you can, whichever, you can drop your question on the platform. Sorry about the network. So yeah, that is where we are for tonight, and this is where we're stopping. And yeah, so thank you for joining.
Thank you, sir. It was awesome.
All right.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Mr.
Good
Charles. A
night.
wonderful lecture.
Thank
Thank you,
you.
Mr. Charles.
Thank you.
Enjoy